Hello, hello again everyone, it's me, Mori. If you are new here, then welcome to the channel, and if you've been here before, then I'm so glad to have you back. As you can see, today is a little bit of a different video, because one, I'm doing soft spoken instead of whispers, which I usually do, and two, I'm not playing video games. Mind blown. From what you can deduct from this footage, I will be drawing. Oh, also probably the thumbnail and the title of the video, but let's ignore that. I will be drawing. Now this footage looks goofy AF because I put it in 2x speed because this took me an hour and 10 minutes, which isn't insanely bad for what I drew, but I don't want to relive through an hour and 10 minutes of that hell. There's literally, I think there's 3 crash outs of mine in this video, maybe more. But yes, I will be drawing. I will be drawing with the reference of a Greek statue that I saw when I went to Greece in March. Greek statue. It is a famous statue. I think it was in the museum in Olympia. And it is the statue of Nike, or I think it's Nike, if you pronounce it the Greek way rather than the Roman way, which is the goddess of victory. And yes, that is where Nike got their name from. And that is why they have a little tick to represent her wings. Though I feel like they should have named it after Hermes instead of Nike, because Hermes has wings on his ankles, but Nike has wings on her back. Anyways, that's not important. I'm gonna try and talk you through the process, but I didn't really know what I was doing, and I still don't know what I did. But at this point, I am drawing kind of the base of the pattern that I'm going to follow. The body, I guess, because she's draped in beautifully sculpted fabric. And I do my best to recreate it, but that's not very good in my opinion. I genuinely don't like this piece. As for why I'm drawing it, that's a whole nother story, which I shall tell you about now. So, I applied for a job. I applied for a job as an art party assistant. It is what it sounds like. Basically, there are a bunch of kids that are 5 to 11, and they are offered parties that involves drawing and painting and whatnot with a company that is local to my area. And an art party assistant must set up the venue, help the kids with their drawing, and serve refreshments, and then tidy up afterwards. So that doesn't sound like a hard job, and I've worked with kids before. I have a little brother who is 4, nearly 5, so I have experience, and I really like to work with kids, not in a weird way. I think they're really cute. That doesn't help my case, does it? Either way, I have experience, and I'm one of the oldest among my neighbours, because my neighbourhood is filled with quite a few families with young kids, or kids that are younger than me, and I've taken my turn in babysitting them or entertaining them when we have a neighbourhood get together, like an ice cream social or whatever you call it in America. So I have my fair share of experience with handling young ones, and I like art. If you haven't been here before, I do yap about art quite a lot, and I do some art as like a little side hobby hustle thing. And I saw this job and I thought, you know what, piece of cake, I can get that, I can get some money, go to some conventions, because there's a big one coming up in June, which I really want to go to, because I couldn't go to this other one that's happening in May, because I'm poor, but it's okay, I'm not defeating the broke college student allegations, that's all I can say. So I applied, they required me to send in a portfolio, which I did not have, so I whipped one up quickly on Sunday. Sunday is my favourite character, if you don't know. I whipped one up on Sunday. I sent it in along with a personal statement and basic information like my name, contact details, etc. On Tuesday, yesterday, as of when I'm recording this, I got an email back, and it was like some admin stuff like, do you have the right to work in the UK? Can you provide us with confirmation of that? So I'll send a picture of my passport. And then it was like, are you aware this job is self-employed? Right? Bit dodgy sounding. And then finally it was like, can you provide more examples of your art, including a tonal sketch? I did not know what a tonal sketch was. I knew how to do a tonal sketch. I didn't know it was that was the technical name for it. So I was like, right, I haven't done one of those in a long time, because I mainly draw anime and do digital art. So I got home today from college and I was like, you know what, I'll do a tonal sketch. I did this, and then I looked a little bit into what they meant by, are you aware that this job is self-employed? And that means I'm going to have to sign tax return papers. I'm basically going to be a freelancer. So they'll call me up and say like, right, there's a party happening this weekend, and that could be my only work for months. And every time they pay me, I'll have to sort it out myself through a provider. So that doesn't sound great considering I'm a minor. I'm 17 years old. If that wasn't clear to you guys, but that doesn't sound great for me as a college student and a minor. So I don't know, because I sent in my CV, which has my college in it, and it says like, oh, I'm a student at this college. So they should know that I'm like young. But they're still like, oh, so you're gonna have to do all this stuff by yourself, which sounds hecka dodgy. So I might just not apply to this job and see if I can get a different one, which is a real shame because it's the first time someone's actually shown interest in my applications. Because I've applied to 2 other jobs before this and they were both like, no, sorry hun, we ain't taking ya. And then, yeah. So I don't know what to do, and I kind of just done this sketch for nothing. At least it's like semi-decent, I guess, but I kind of still don't like it. Okay, I've done the outline and I sketched in the fabric drape across her torso. And now I'm filling in like the darkest parts that I can see on the reference. But some way, halfway through this, I just kind of ignore the reference and go with what I feel is right. I go with the flow because it was straining my neck to constantly look back and forth, Yeah, no, maybe the fabric that's like behind the main body. Yeah. I hate having to relive this. Genuinely, halfway through, I thought, like, I'm gonna not finish this. I always go to the extreme, though, whenever things don't turn out my way, which is probably a bad habit of mine. But, you know, we're all human. We all have stuff that we shouldn't do, but we do. Okay, I'm not a philosopher. Get out. This genuinely took me an hour and 10 minutes, which isn't like a lot, but I'm impatient as hell. And if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm running off of sheer motivation to get that job, because I was not loving this. The thing about me is I draw what I want to draw. I don't take any art courses at college. I'm not an art major whatsoever. So I draw when I feel like it, and I draw what I want, which is great. Absolutely great. Because I have 2 friends that take art, and they are always painting and drawing, and they get sick of it because they do it even when they don't want to, and if they get behind on the work, then oh my god, they are cooked. So yeah, with me, I draw what I want to draw when I want to draw, and if I'm not in the mood for drawing and I've started something, I'll leave it and maybe I'll come back later. Most of the time I don't, but sometimes I do, and it turns out good. I wanted to draw this at first, but then I was kind of just like, this is taking too long and my wrist is beginning to hurt, so I don't want to do this anymore. But then I was like, wait, I need this job. So I kept going, and now I'm not even going to use the sketch probably. So c'est la vie. That's life, I guess. At one point, my little brother does come into my room, and I thought he'd be non-disruptive, but I guess that was my own fault for thinking that. And he started like messing with the blinds in my room, and so I had to kick him out. But yeah, I hope that doesn't disrupt anything too much. If you are watching this, I don't know if I can provide you with any tips or techniques, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to art. Everyone's like, oh, you're doing this and that, and cross-hatching and line work and sketching, shading. I don't know any of that. I don't know any art theory. I only just about get by with my anatomy. I'm improving on that. I am improving on anatomy, but very slowly. And I barely ever colour in when I do traditional art. I colour in all the time with digital art because I love it so much, and it's not that it's easier, it's just I know how to do it, and I have my own little techniques and art style tips that I do. I don't have that with traditional art. Like, with digital art, you know, there's like clipping and alpha lock and filters, and it's just more like diverse, and there is like still a really bad reputation around digital art where people are like, oh, it's not real art, it's not as hard as traditional art. But the thing is, digital art takes me like 10 times longer than my usual art, my traditional art takes me. And I think it's just, I can put more precision and care into it because I can like zoom in and do all that other stuff. And okay, this is such a bad explanation, but if you're an artist, you might understand what I mean. It's not easier, it's just there's more to it that you can do. It's like freer. Is that even a word? It's more free. Yeah, okay, I'll just, you know what, I'll just shut up. I'll just leave it there. Yeah, so shading does take up the rest of the video because it's supposed to be a tonal sketch, which apparently is like, I don't know, it's like not very outliney, and it's more just like shading. And I think that's what happens. I asked my friends who do art and they were like, yeah, that's a tonal sketch, but I'm not too sure because I have a feeling like it's too outliney, but you know, I'll just go with it, whatever. I have a little 1 week holiday coming up next week, but I'm going to be super busy for most of it. I think I've mentioned in a previous video, but I've got like a party and then a concert, and then I'm going away to visit a university for an open day. And then for the first half, my friends are like, let's have a sleepover. But one, we don't have a house. None of us have houses big enough to host all of us. And two, no one's actually organising it. I tried to input something. I was like, guys, we should sort this out. And they were like, yeah. And then didn't elaborate. Because with my college friend group, there is... Wait, let me count. Me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of us. With our extended friend group, there is 6. Don't say it. I'll just skip that. 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 of us in our extended friend group. And nobody has a house that big. Wait, there might be 12 or 13 if you count. There are like these 2 newcomers that kind of hang out with us every day, but they're not like the mains. They're not the D1 OGs, if you know what I mean. But we still like them, and we still hang out with them, and they still hang out with us and stuff. So yeah, that might be. I think that's around 13 of us then. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. I'm so used to having like a friend group of maybe 5 to 9. 5 to 8, yeah, around that. But now we've got like so many people and we don't have any houses big enough. So that's gonna be a bit of a struggle. Anyways, now I'm moving on to the leggies. Well, the one leg that's covered in fabric, which genuinely made me want to delete myself from existence. Oh yeah, there's a little crash out I just had. Because like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I'm doing it or what I'm doing. And I'm just praying it turns out good. But yeah. Apart from that, I will be playing through the Honkai Star Rail 4.2 quest because I haven't played through it yet and I really want to. Calm down. I really want to. I've been desperate to, but I've been so busy since it came out. And yeah, I'm so excited to play through it on Saturday. And also, I've started my English coursework in my English course, which I'm so excited about. Basically, it's 1,000 words fiction, 1,000 words of non-fiction, and then 1,200 words of analysing your own work. Oh, how great does that sound? For those who don't know, I want to be an author when I grow up. Well, I'm already kind of grown up, but when I'm an adult, for my career, I want to be an author. And that is the coursework is the main reason I chose this English course, because there's two. There's literature and language, and then there's literature, and I preferred the texts they were doing in literature, but I chose literature and language purely for the coursework, and I've waited almost the whole year to start it, and we've started it, and I'm so excited. But get this, okay, this is my idea for the fiction, because the theme for both or the fiction and the non-fiction is home. Hear me out. What if I did a retelling of Adventurine's backstory for my fiction? How cool does that sound? If you people don't play Honkai Star Rail, Adventurine, his backstory is genuinely, it makes me cry every time. Genuinely, it makes me cry every time I think about it. But it's such a good story, and I love it so much, and I think it fits in with the theme of home, because he loses his home, and we are allowed to do retellings for it. They mainly said retellings of fairy tales, but that doesn't mean I can't do a retelling of a video game story, right? I'd write it from Adventurine's perspective, because that's kind of what they're aiming for. I don't typically write in first person, but I feel like I can pull it off. But that would just be so good. Of course, I will think of other ideas, but they haven't come to me yet, and that one seems to inspire me the most. I have until December to finish it, and we've only just started the unit, so I probably will start writing about September. But that just sounds so amazing to me. I love Aventurine's backstory so much, and I feel like writing it from his perspective about home, about losing his home, would just be really beautiful. And I love characterizing characters that have already been made, because I don't know, I feel like it's kind of my strong field. I love to understand how characters feel, and I love to embody them in my writing, and I feel like I can really do that with Adventurine's backstory. But sorry, I'm so excited. I love writing so much. I write fan fictions all the time, and I've planned a few books, but they're not going too well. Well, it's not that they're not going too well, I just haven't started writing them, because whenever I start writing them, I'm like, wait, I don't actually know how I'm going to start this. But I'll work on it, I'll get to it in the end. I've just about finished the first leg here, and I hope I've done a good job with like the fabrics. Okay, I'm crashing out. I was crashing out. I hope it looks like fabric-y enough. I love Greek sculptures because they just make the marble look like it's not marble, and it's amazing. Like the detail on the clothing and the body parts, they make it look soft or drapey or hard, and well, not hard, like, I'm thinking of another word for hard. Malleable? No, I don't know. Stiff. Let's go with stiff. It's amazing, and I'm so honoured to have seen the statue in real life and be using a photo that I actually took of it for a reference. This statue though, it's quite sad. It's been quite weathered through time. There are some statues that have been preserved so well, and this unfortunately was not one of them. It's still in great shape, but the face was all fallen off and cracked. The arms have fallen off, feet had fallen off and most of it was quite weathered. The lines that had been sculpted weren't as sharp as other statues I saw, but it's still beautiful, and they had it displayed on, like, with a blue background, and it had like orange light shining on it. It looked so beautiful, like literally an angel, which kind of is what Nike was, I guess. She was like the OG angel, because obviously Hellenistic religion, Hellenistic Greece came before Christianity, and Rome, paganistic Rome came before Christianity, Christian Rome. And I mean no disrespect to anyone who is a Christian, I'm just speaking in like historical terms, because I study classics, which covers ancient Greece and ancient Rome and ancient Greek and ancient Roman religion, so I know some stuff. And I've mainly only been studying paganistic Rome so far, which included like basically the Greek gods, but just renamed after planets, or the planets rather were named after them. Like Jupiter is Zeus. I forgot what its name is. Oh, Juno is Hera. Venus is Aphrodite. Neptune is Poseidon. So on, so on. Apollo was called... Oh, I forgot. It was something like really weird though. They did refer to him as Apollo, but they also referred to him as something else, which I can't remember. And I can't remember... Oh, Hermes was the herald. Which is where we get the word herald from. It means messenger. Who else? Oh yeah, Aries was Mars. And yeah, I think you get the rest. But yeah, I think mostly angels drew inspiration from Nike, or depictions of Nike, because the Emperor Augustus, who was probably the most influential emperor of Rome, well, the first one too, he loved to depict himself with Nike in Augustan propaganda. Little history session there. I'm actually, I've got a little homework on a relief of... I forgot what it's on. That's really bad. It's like a little place that was made after Augustus's death, and it's got a bunch of different reliefs on them. Reliefs are like stone statues, or like a flat statue, so it's like it comes out of the wall but it's still attached to it. And there's tons of them throughout Roman history. There's some on the Areopagus, or there's tons on the Areopagus, which is the altar of peace and whatnot. And yeah, there's this really famous one that I've been looking at, which has Augustus and Nike and this battle armor in the middle, and it's got a depiction of Jupiter because there's an eagle on it. That's my revision done. Okay, now I am shading in the torso, which I guess it was alright. It wasn't as good as the clothing, but I think by this point I had just completely given up and was like, yeah, I don't actually care anymore. That sounds so bad. I love art, genuinely. I love art, I love doing art, I love making art sometimes. But when I do something I don't want to do, it's like, get that away from me. Like, it's still on my sketchbook is still on my desk, and I've been like glancing at it with a death stare. anyways, I didn't know what I was doing. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't know how I'm doing it. I'm using an HB pencil that I got from the Acropolis Museum in Greece. I thought I'd go full on Greece style. Grecian style. The rebel's not from Greece though, and neither is the sketchbook, but shh. I'm drawing a Greek statue with a Greek pencil. I would have found like a like the special pencils that you get for art. I forgot what type of pencil they are. I think it's like a 2B. They're like, the lead in it, the graphite in it is a little bit softer, so it's better for shading, but I couldn't be asked to find one. I didn't know if we had one in our house, so I just drew with an HB, what? Words are not coming to me. I just drew it with a regular HB pencil. So at least it shows I can do stuff when I have limited resources, am I right? I say as if I'm still going to apply to this job, which I don't think I am anymore, which is such a shame because it seems so fun and I'd really like to do it, but it's a bit dodgy. It's a bit suspicious, if you ask me. Hopefully I will be releasing my little Greece vlog at some point this week. It depends when I have time, because this week is quite busy for me. Well, it has been so far, but I don't know if it will be for the rest. I've got a singing assessment tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to because I barely know what I'm doing. Once more, singing is one of those things that I can do, but I just don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I'm guessing. It's all guesswork, I guess. It's all guesswork, I guess. Okay, that's too many guesses for one sentence. But either way, I hope it goes well. I haven't really been practicing because I just don't know what I'm doing, but hopefully it goes well. Fingers crossed. Everyone, fingers crossed. And my last ASMR video. It's done pretty well. It's got 1k views in just under 2 weeks, I think, which is good for me because I really suck at breaking the algorithm on any social media app, I guess. But it's got, 1k views. And I think that was my Witch Hat Atelier flip through, which makes sense because Witch Hat Atelier has been getting a lot of popularity recently, which I'm so happy about. I'm talking as if I didn't only join the fandom like a month ago. Wait, it was over a month ago. Yeah, wow, time flies. Time really flies. It feels like it was just yesterday I got into it, but I guess not. Either way, I'm so happy about the attention it's been getting, and more people are getting into the manga. Again, I'm talking as if I didn't only read the manga a month ago, but it's okay. I know bull. We know bull. I really recommend that you read Witch Hat Atelier if you haven't, or watch it because the anime is releasing on a weekly schedule every Monday. And it's so good. So good. And next episode, Keyfree fans hopefully are going to eat well. So I'll just leave that with you. I think, we should be getting towards the finished result soon. Wait, let me put that on normal speed. 1 second. Okay, finished result will be in 3, 2, 1. Okay, action. Here we are. This is the final result. It looks a lot worse on camera than it is in real life, but I tried, and that's all that matters. stairs, and that is the reference I was kind of following. I didn't quite get the angle, but it's okay. Anyways, that will be all from me. So I hope you have a great day, or night, or any time of day it is for you. And I will see you next time.